So now that we've taken a look at some blank templates, let's take a look at what it looks like from the student's perspective and the feedback that you will receive. So here is an example of just asking how students feel about the technology or using it, and you can see the creativity. And this is the part that I love about Pear. Yes, you can get the feedback from the students, but this is when they start showing their personalities. And I really like this because that gives me kind of a brief look into how they think. And so as I go through these slides, you'll see how that benefits you when teaching your subject area. So here's an example of math, and I can see how the students are thinking. So the student on the left completed it, started at the beginning, noticed that it starts with a 2, and they went to 3 inches. However, the student on the right, I can see that they're struggling a little bit. They just went to the 3. But now I have a better idea of how they're thinking. They're just looking for that number, and so I know when I meet with them that that's something I have to address with them. And then looking at these as well, I like these because you start seeing how students think with their different levels and abilities with math. So the top right corner, that student there, you can tell they really understand the 3 inches because they just picked the middle. Now again, I never said they had to start at the beginning. I just said you need to draw 3 inches. But I also know that's a higher level thinking kid because of where they drew their line. And so as you look at the different ones, you also get to see their personalities come out with their little smiley faces and just their little reactions that they might add in once they've completed the task. And so this makes it fun, but more importantly, I get to just kind of see how my student is thinking, and this is going to help me so when I have to address concerns, I know how to address them. I also understand which kids really get it and how I might help them by moving them forward even more. Here's an example of one using for ELAR and giving quick fixes with their writing and just their editing. And so I can again see what the students and how they're thinking. And I like the ability to use the different colors just because that's really fun for kids and they really get into it. And so with this particular activity, I gave the students a choice. They can either use text or drawing. And as you can see, they really like the drawing feature with the touch screens. That really is helpful. And this is also really good because now I can show responses and we can decide as a class, is this particular slide correct or if it is wrong? And if it is wrong, what's wrong with it? And then what I like to do, because it's anonymous, nobody knows whose this is when it's showing on the screen, I can then tell the student, okay, you know what's wrong with it, go ahead and go back and fix it. That immediate feedback really is effective with students. And it just lets them feel successful after they've completed the task, especially if they can correct it. Here's an example of money. This one's just a simple one that you can just draw the lines and I can visually see, did the students understand the task and did they do it correctly? It's also fun, like this one in the bottom left corner right here. That person thinks a little differently than the norm, and so that makes it fun to know who that student is and maybe just get an idea how they think. Another fun piece to this is helping students who don't understand, getting them to understand. So when I show these responses whole group and they make those mistakes, then we can address those, and we may not even be showing theirs, but they might have made the same mistake and they can learn from that. Another piece I like about it is the higher level thinking students show those students who might be struggling. Like if I go back to here, they'll show that student who isn't as good with math, oh look, I don't have to be specific. I could have drawn my 3 inches right in the middle and that would still be correct. And so it helps those students who might not think outside the box to see examples of thinking outside the box and help initiate that creativity. So this is what I would consider the strongest piece of Pear Deck. Yes, the kids find it engaging, they have fun with it, but I get to see how they think and I get to go over these live results with them so that they can make immediate corrections, and it just sticks a little harder with them when they can make those immediate corrections. It also helps them feel successful because they made a mistake, they can change the mistake, and then they can move on versus getting the marks on their paper or the corrections later on. And so this immediate feedback is very powerful, and I've seen huge growth when using Pear Deck in this way.